guys, Ralph here, True Power Trumpet Fitness, and welcome. Welcome to Magnificent Monday. What a beautiful day, and a wonderful day to have double C's. They're all good. Anyway, now play the note. You saw the thumbnail. Trump and me. Very, very unique story, and the influence he had on my career was extraordinary. It really was. Nothing from a musical standpoint, needless to say, but from a business standpoint, which anybody that is a full musician, playing musician, knows there is a business side to it that you better have in order to be successful. Anyway, without further ado, haven't played a note. Let's see what we got. Merry Christmas. This will all take shape in a little bit. Anyway, let me take a little trip down memory lane, and it will all become clear in a minute. Okay? It was circa late 1970s, early 80s. Okay? I had just come back from North Carolina playing a season as principal trumpet with the North Carolina Opera. I got a call when I was down in North Carolina to play lead trumpet with Ben Vereen. I grabbed it. He was very, very hot at the time, Tony Award, Roots, all that sort of stuff. Came back to New York and used Ben as what I wasn't with Ben. I was freelancing throughout New York City. Okay? A lot of Latin. A lot of Hasidic weddings. Not great music, but what money. I had gotten into the Broadway scene. I was working with North 40 Productions doing jingles. Life was good. If it didn't get any better than that, sign me up. Sign me up. Making a few bucks, living life as a professional musician. Life was good. My chops were good. I was studying with Jerry full time. To get the job with the North Carolina Opera, I went back to Vacchiano because I'd been out of school for a little while. But went back to Vacchiano and Broyles and played the whole audition with them with a Calet mouthpiece. And they all gave me their seal of approval, which to me was like getting out of jail. So life was good. Life was good. Now, let me back up a little bit. We had a brass quintet called the New York City Brass Entourage. You've never heard of it. We weren't concertizing in the traditional sense, and I'll explain that. Basically, it started as 5 mofos at the Mannes College of Music. Okay? I'm going to be use a little discretion with some of the names because 2 of them are no longer with us, and they died of terrible causes and drugs. I'm not going to go there. Okay? So I'm going to be a little sparse with the names. But there were 5 of us that were just monsters, full of piss and vinegar and ready to kill. I can use some names. One of the other trumpet player was a buddy of mine that I still keep in touch with a little bit, named Glenn Rowan, who at the time had some of the most glorious natural chops I ever heard. Up to high G on a Bach mouthpiece. He changed the off the Bach mouthpiece for this, but Vacchiano always said that he had professional level talent for piccolo. I mean, he was marvelous. Our bass trombone player, which I will not use his name, was actually subbing with the New York Philharmonic. He's the one that left us too soon. Was actually subbing with the Philharmonic while he was in New York Philharmonic, while he was in college. He got a call on the road to go with Buddy Rich. I mean, that is the lead bass drummer. That's the kind of talent he was. Buddy Rich in the New York Philharmonic, extraordinary. Another trombone player, I'm not going to use his name, again, died way too early, was probably stronger than all of us. Latin, club dates, the whole 9 yards. We replaced him with a guy named Clint Sharman. I can use that. Lead trombone, Liza Minnelli. Lead trombone, Buddy Rich. I mean, this is the caliber. When George left us, we replaced a tuba player with a guy named Dave Brainard. First call at the Met. I mean, this is the quality of guys that we. I mean, and we started in school playing on the street for money with the case open. Made a ton of money, and we just really developed a style of playing strong. No Empire Brass Quintet, little picking or Canadian. No, everything was strong. Now, we were not concertizing. We were doing gigs. As I told you, the resume. We're all doing other stuff. And this was just sort of to supplement our income. So it's not like we're knocking off Ewalds and all this, but we were doing all the Gabriellis, Bangle, Sangle Leader, Handel, Moret. Right, we have maybe 100 things that we could just call 47, boom. And we just honed our craft out on the street. Okay, so we were tight and strong and ready to go. Trump heard us, not only out on the street, but he heard us at a job he went to. I didn't know who the heck he was. The name caught my mind, but he wasn't really yet. Okay, this was before Trump Tower. Trump Tower was a construction site. He says, come and see me at my Fifth Avenue office, and we'll talk. So I go up the next day, and his office was across the street, and he's looking out these huge floor-to-ceiling pictured windows at the Trump Tower construction site. This is it. It's going to be huge, spectacular, exactly what you hear him talk about. Talking about his baby, the Trump Tower. And he says, I want to make a spectacle like we've never seen before. Can you play Christmas carols on my construction site? Sure. So they had the construction people build literally a ledge on the construction site, 5 stories up, overlooking Fifth Avenue, that we went up there with gray, blue shawls a la Oliver Twist, Charles Dickens, okay? Red scarves, and we had to wear red construction helmets. And just killing. Christmas carols. This was the day after Thanksgiving, okay? We were to start killing Christmas carols, Gabrielli, Handel, just killing it. And Trump got his wish. We were the sensation. The day after, we were on the front, I have pictures somewhere, of front page of the Daily News, front page of the New York Post, article in the New Yorker magazine, on and on. Now, Trump was literally down on in all the networks, all the next. We did an interview with Geraldo Rivera, who was working for NBC at the time. I don't even remember. All the networks. Trump would be down on the street with all these people just surrounded. Oh, we love it, and we're up there. It was, and he'd say, "Do you hear that? It's huge, huge. The biggest thing to happen to Fifth Avenue in the history." We were stars. Overnight, we were stars. Now, he and his model wife at the time, Ivana, were the creme de la creme of New York society. Okay, every gala, every opening, every fundraiser, they were there. The creme de la creme. So New York society, whenever they had a fundraiser or anything, we were the first call. We were no longer the New York City brass entourage unless we were out doing other stuff. We were the Trump Tower trumpeteers. And the money that came in, I played at Glenn Close's wedding. I played for Mercedes Ellington. I played for Maurice and Gregory Hines at all their functions, again with playing lead trumpet with them. Okay, remember I was doing Broadway at the time. Now, anybody that has done any sort of freelancing knows that work begets work. The top guys are calling me and throwing me a bone with a sub here, a recording dingle there, in hoping to get on all these Trump Tower gigs and high society gigs. It was extraordinary. The bank that I was making, guys, I had a top Broadway contractor want to get on the Trump gigs. I can use his name, Mitch Jellin. I don't think he's no longer with us either. Again, he wanted to get on these jobs. Okay? It was unbelievable. And not only was I getting paid to play, I was getting double to lead the gig. That was our job. And I was getting contracting fees. When Trump bought the Plaza, Madon. The parties, when he went to Atlantic City, the Trump Taj, Madon. I can't believe it. My career flourished during those years. Now, eventually, it lasted about 4 or 5 years. Once the Trump Tower actually became something other than a construction site, all of a sudden, for us to be up above the ground, we had to walk through, Harry Winston or Cartier jewels that were paying $3,000 a square foot, and they didn't want that. Okay, so they put us down on the ground right by the front door. All of a sudden, we're impeding traffic, so it fizzled out. But I'm going to say 4 to 6 years running, hit like the original thing. We're on the Today Show. Featured on the Christmas Eve, and it was billed as developer Donald Trump's Christmas present to New York City. We're on the right at the Rockefeller Center rink on Christmas Eve. I mean, limousines. That's another thing. One of the subs, that top Broadway guy, I won't use his name, also was part owner in a limousine service, if you believe it or not. Okay? So what he would do, we would add limousine charges to our fee. So when we were going to a job after the Trump Tower, literally a limousine would pick us up at Trump Tower. The doorman would open the door for the Trump Tower trumpeteers. We get in a limousine and we go off to the Dakota, or all these top guys, Harry Winston party. Again, I played at Glenn Close's marriage. Did I say wedding? Did I say this? Oh, please. What a time. What a time to be a musician, and what a glorious time for this young guy. I was not married. Just having the time of my life. Anyway, I eventually got into teaching and all that calmed down. It's funny because I tell my daughter all these things, who I played for and all this sort of stuff. And this all happened long before I even met my wife. So she was just a twinkle in my eye. And I tell her, she just looks at me and goes, Daddy, what happened to you? Anyway, God bless you, sweetie. So there's a little look into my trip down memory lane. And I see Trump all the time. Of course we do. And it just, these memories come flooding back. So anyway, that's it. Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables and live your life with true power. Love you all.